it to wind up, Dr. Qadri, what to do your closing remark here? Where the mosque? I'm concerned about certain group of Muslims who are, these Okada riders. There are many who seem not to. They won't be sitting watching TV right now. They hardly would want to listen. They listen to radio, but selecting and all of that, And they're still about. They congregate more than the churches or the mosque. I don't know if you know the level I'm talking about. Those who are on motorbikes, keke and stuff like that. How do we preach preventive measures to this?
Well, there are natural preventive measures even in Islam. Before we can even observe our prayers, naturally we perform ablution where we need to wash our hands and all that. I am seeing the governor of the government of this state not being tried enough. Like in Lagos, it was a direct statement. They should stop a larger congregation in the mosque and in the churches. But here they said they will soon call the religious leader for a meeting.
They have had a meeting as of yesterday. They have had that, and they have said that the numbers. Dr. Cole was on air yesterday. They've restricted the number from 50, I think it's called 25. And so, if we look at Delta, we saw the isolation centers here as, how will I put it, in case of an emergency. Don't forget, we don't have one yet. We don't pray to have one. Rivers is another state that has shut down. No coming in, no going out. They don't have one yet. They don't pray to two. So, here beyond government, looking at the Muslim community, you think government is the one to actually talk to those people?
No. What I'm trying to say is that like this last Tuesday, the Muslim community in Delta State we had a meeting at PTI mosque there, even before the government announced it, that henceforth there should be restriction in the mosque.
Okay, I'll hold it right there. My question you didn't answer, which is those people flying Okada. Okay, should we have Okada right now? The Muslim,
this is not matter of Muslims or non-Muslims. The government can decide.
To stop it totally.
Of course, the police are there to enforce the law. Either you are a Muslim or anybody can ride Okada. And the buses are still going around. And there is not even social distance inside the bus. And that was what the governor Lagos State was accused of. If you are talking of 50, in the BRT vehicle they are using, they are more than 70 in the vehicle. So after that accusation, they have now restricted it.
Okay.
So if you really serious, either Muslim or non-Muslims, the government says the Okada rider should stop.
Okay, or buses.
Anyone, Islam can agree that all these preventive measures are very nice.
Okay.
You know you have to also prevent yourself.
And you look I think the government can do more. The basic thing that we have seen scientifically that has helped societies are screening, isolation, and then containment. The government will know we don't have resources. 1926 ventilators is not something you rely on.
Okay, so
what we are saying now is that start the screening. Every local government should have a coronavirus camp. Each camp in a local government should have about 20 patrol units.
All right.
And then you ban outrightly. They're talking about no categorical statement from the government about worshipping. You ban outrightly assemblies in the church and in the mosque for now, because we must still get down to a lockdown.
All right, thank you.
Lockdown will be, you remain in your homes. For now, you cannot ban Okadas. You think about, if you're entering the Okada, get your nose mask, get your sanitizer. If you're coming down, wash your hands,
and
all that. The government can still do more. The government is trying.
Thank you very much.
And the people are trying too.
Thank you.
The religious leaders are trying. They have come. They should be able to pass this message.
Doctor, thank you very much. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Christy. Nice to meet you again.
Okay, the religious leaders, faith-based organizations, the government efforts in Delta State, it's much, but we could just keep improving on it. We are not doing enough. Because for the communities that do not have so much impact outside the shores, they took very proactive measures. That's what our guests, our team here have said today. And basically for the religious leaders, they have said that God's hand is in this, irrespective of what science says. That when God says yes, it just must happen. But we could do more if we abstain from sin. For instance, the Muslim here has said also, Fabri, that nightclubs have shut down, and that when everything goes out, when the tension is down, you see that those nightclubs may not pick up again. The issue is Sodom and Gomorrah was. Here we are still looking at bestiality. Would they or not? Time only will tell. Morning Watch on drtv, we say many thanks to Reverend Enira Laifa, Dr. Abu Majid Qadri, and Dr. Shooks Ekukoma. Gentlemen, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
We continue our Morning Watch after now. Please stay tuned.
The time is always limited.
You hear what's happening.
Are symptoms of coronavirus, which may manifest 2 to 14 days after exposure. Fever, shortness of breath, persistent pain or pressure in the chest. If you develop emergency warning signs for coronavirus, get medical attention immediately. Call the doctor in advance to allow for proper preparation to attend to you adequately. Stay at home if you begin to feel unwell, even with mild symptoms such as headache and slight runny nose, until you recover. Standard recommendations to prevent infection and spread include regular washing of hands with soap and water, covering mouth and nose when coughing and sneezing, thoroughly cooking meat and eggs, drinking water as frequent as possible. Nose masks aren't necessary except for sick people and those managing them. Avoid close contact with anyone showing symptoms of respiratory illness such as coughing and sneezing. Avoid your face, particularly your mouth, nose, and eyes. Until the virus clears, we can do without the shaking of hands and hugging. Be reminded that a person could have been infected and it will not be visible. Stay healthy.
with the Morning Watch, reaching you live from the oil city of Warri, Delta Rainbow Television. You're welcome again. And we have a one-off interview segment, and a guest on this segment is one who was the Christian Association Nigeria chairman for South for 16 years. He was also the chairman Delta State Christian Association for 10 years. He is the President Christ Missionary Crusaders Church right here in the Oil City. Most Reverend God-do-well Arumakwa. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. I hope you sanitized at the entrance of the office.
Well, I didn't see it at all.
It's there. It's there. Maybe I was again just...
Maybe we're going.
All right. The last panel we had just before you actually mentioned CAN. And the pastor said, in looking at proactiveness, he said CAN was the first body to have come up to rule out measures of prevention, social distances, ever before even the Lagos State government, before we experienced what we're having right now. He was responding, reacting to the question of churches still congregating without observing social distancing, that is the number. What's your take?
No, I think we should be able to comply to what the government is saying, especially God knows that the government is our leaders. We are praying for them. They are the people leading us. And I think we should be obedient to do that, since it's not a permanent thing and just for a while. I believe that within some days it will be all right. I think all churches should cooperate and then go on with the regulation that they give it to us.
Okay. Now, in cases like this, the segment before this, we looked at religion versus science. You know, both religious leaders had an Islamic one and then a pastor were on the same page. They believe that it is God who had brought this on mankind because of sin. But if you look at humanity, many are looking to religious leaders for guidance in crises like this. With the measures ruled out, social distances and all of that, how effective do you think religious leaders could be at this time, and what would you suggest be the method of passing this kind of guidance?
Well, I think the science is just to confirm what God is saying and to confirm the scripture. I expected that the most important thing that we must have to get right now is prayers to be able to stop this virus. It is very, very important. It is satanic. I cannot just mention and say on the studio here that it was God who released it. God doesn't tempt with evil. That's the scripture. And God has said in the book of Exodus chapter 23 verse 25 that I will take away sicknesses from you. And I believe that this simple word that the Israelites believe, for 40 years of going around the wilderness, the Bible says none of them were feeble. They had some challenges, but again there was a solution. One of the great solutions that I cannot forget is when snakes came in and bite people, the venom, kill them. And so God told Moses, after prayers, please just make a serpent with bronze and then put it high. So anybody who has a bite from those serpents, if they can look at it, they will be saved. And it helped some. It helped many of them. I used some because some did not believe. And exactly that was the symbol of the cross of Jesus that will become, that he will be nailed to the cross in the New Testament. The scripture says, look unto Jesus, the author and the finisher of our faith. I think our government should also, at this time, remind the church and rely on the church also as we go on to take time or the cautions and all that. The church should be put into task to pray at this time. I think it's our duty, whether we are told or not, this virus will be away from Delta State.
Right. Most Reverend Aromapa, people have been praying, and the critics also said that, look, it seems we have dwelt all our lives praying. Prayers, the good book says, pray without ceasing. They've been praying, and the churches are multiplying in number, so also is sin. What effective way do you think the church can employ at this time, more than they have been doing before, that could remedy the situation? It seems like everyone is going to church like going to the office. They don't seem to be a difference in their life. What are some other pragmatic ways you think the church could help?
I think this time we need help from the church. When I say church, from God. And you are saying that church are many and all that. Think about it. If prayers were not rendered, where do you think we would have been by now if there's no prayer? Just stop prayer for one day and you will know what God has been doing. The God who says, call upon me in the time of trouble. Now, I do not know the road that leads to the native doctor's place, but I just believe that the church will cry to God and then there will be answer. But one of the most important things is that man naturally is sinful, very sinful. A child of 3 days, 4 days can be full of anger, and he can bite the mother, the breast, the nipple of the breast. He can just bite it, or sometimes he can just kick his food away. Yeah, because naturally man is sinful. And so the teachers in the church will at least this time stand well and begin to teach the truth. Now this is more than prosperity now. This is more than, buy one candle or buy one oil. It's more than that now.
So they've not been teaching the truth.
Not all. Some are teaching the truth, but some are not teaching the truth. And we urge them at this time. We have told them before that anyone that is not doing the right thing before God shall face shame. This time is where the presence of Elijah is needed.
Okay.
And Elijah will stop the rain and then tell the rain to fall again. I believe that by this virus, many who do not know God, they will know God.
Okay, so somehow it is it's giving there is some kind of profit in the virus after all. When we say profit individually, that it will bring people closer to the Creator.
Well, I know for truth that that will happen, and many people will be surprised, and from now they will learn lesson. What we are going to do now, I'm already making a means of teaching through the social media, and then you can be in your house, you get my message of every day and every Sunday and every midweek. It will cost us some money, but we will do it.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Prayers, prayers, and prayers again. It's a threefold ministry for this coronavirus. As far as Most Reverend Godwill Raunakwa is concerned, it says we need an overdose of prayers right now, that the church should wake up and pray more. The churches are too many, because they are not even enough. That think about it, if you weren't there, what it would have been. That man by nature is sinful, irrespective of whether the churches are many or not. That nature would come to the Most Reverend Godwill Raunakwa, former Christian Association of Nigeria chairman, Delta State for 8 years, and then he also headed that body for South region for 16 years. He is the president, Christ Missionary Crusaders Church. Many thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Our morning watch on DRTV will continue after now. Stay tuned.
coronavirus, which may manifest 2 to 14 days after exposure. Fever, shortness of breath, persistent pain or pressure in the chest. If you develop emergency warning signs for coronavirus, get medical attention immediately. Call the doctor in advance to allow for proper preparation to attend to you adequately. Stay at home if you begin to feel unwell, even with mild symptoms such as headache and slight runny nose, until you recover. Standard recommendations to prevent infection and spread include regular washing of hands with soap and water, covering mouth and nose when coughing and sneezing, thoroughly cooking meat and eggs, drinking water as frequent as possible. Nose masks aren't necessary except for sick people and those managing them. Avoid close contact with anyone showing symptoms of respiratory illness such as coughing and sneezing. Avoid your face, particularly your mouth, nose, and eyes. Until the virus clears, we can do without the shaking of hands and hugging. Be reminded that the person could have been infected and it will not be visible. Stay healthy.
You're still with us on our breakfast table from Warri. You are with Morning Watch on drtv. Now, there's been calls from various quarters for Nigeria to begin to observe a national total lockdown just to stem the spread of the COVID COVID-19 pandemic. It's with good reasons too, you would say, because right now from the presidency, we have Mr. Abba Kyari already down, positive Bauchi State Governor, and thank God, reported this as His Excellency Vice President Oshibanjo, even the President himself, are not positive. But with the meeting they had, with the contact tracing still on, we begin to see more people who had contact with some of these persons. In the light of that, and also from a report from various states, latest being Osun, there have been this clamor for a total lockdown. Should this be, if it could come to be, what are the expectations of Nigerians? Do we have the wherewithal, economically and otherwise, to manage a total lockdown? To talk on this morning, I have Comrade Francis Obule, the MD from Bule Nigeria Limited, who is here to talk with us. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Doctor.
And joining him is Dr. Paul Uche Esegboe, a Principal of Medical Office with Delta State University Health Science. Good morning and welcome.
Welcome, Delta State.
All right, I'd like to start with you, Comrade Francis Obule. Should there be a total lockdown? Let's go straight on to what the topic says, with the number counting at 46 already.
Well, to checkmate the movement of people and goods and others, it's a record development, because if you are a carrier of this COVID-19 and you move from one place to the other, you are indirectly spreading it. So there is a need for that.
Dr. Esegboe, should there be?
Yes, we should learn from the experience of China and now Italy, because from these two countries we discovered that infections are spreading much more rapidly than the interventions are being put in place, and you see a situation whereby people are responding where havoc has been done. So the best thing to do to prevent havoc is a lockdown. You totally eliminate the chances of losing people due to taking decisions that are late. I support a call for total lockdown right now in our country before the situation gets out of control.
All right, I still stay with you before I come to Comrade Obule, Dr. Paul Uche Esegboe. Now, if you take the United States of America, I mean, almighty US as it were, we see as at yesterday that they are battling with the availability of ICUs, the intensive care units. Particularly, it's in Washington that they took that report from. The number of patients that were turning in are overwhelming the medical facilities already. The calls for ventilators, manufacturers, I mean car companies are now coming in to help out. But what we're trying to say is, for those countries we see as being advanced scientifically, they have this kind of challenge. Not to talk about a developing nation like Nigeria in the sub-region. When it comes to our preparedness, should this lockdown comes to be, how adequate are the facilities on ground? How prepared are we to handle that?
Thank you very much. That is the reason why we are calling for a lockdown in Nigeria, because we are not prepared, because we are not a developed country in any way. We are developing. US is well prepared. Look at China. China fought COVID-19 with robots and telemedicine. These are totally absent in Nigeria. We don't have facilities. We don't have ventilators. We are not prepared. That is why the need to have a lockdown right now before the infection gets to the level where it is in the United States right now. If we get to that level, we are not going to be able to contain it. Italy is already being overwhelmed. How much more Nigeria? So it's only lockdown that can save us. Right now, we are asking people to wash their hands, provide sanitizers, but go and monitor what is going on. You discover that we can't even supply sanitizers. just 1 day of sanitizers, the stock is finished. How can we battle for 1 month? So, but if we do a 1 month lockdown, I think we will combat the infection. There are dangers, but in medicine we always weigh benefits and risks. There are risks of lockdown. We know it will affect the economy. We know the other problems. But we are not ready. We are not prepared as a nation. We cannot follow any other route. All we need to do is to stop it from entering. Especially in states like Delta, they say we have no case yet confirmed. But there is no guarantee that the infection is not ongoing. The testing is not being done. China tried to test its people. Italy made a major mistake in this angle because they were testing only severe cases. What is Nigeria doing? How do we know that there is no infection in Delta State when we are not testing? We need to step up the rate of testing. We can do random checks to be able to ascertain if there is no COVID-19 already here with us, because these are the problems that face nations that are battling. We should rather take the shortcut of locking down and avoiding a total disaster.
Thank you very much. Let me come to you, Comrade Francis Obule. We are not prepared. We don't have capacity. We just took delivery 2 days back of Jack Ma's offers, let me put it that way, of ventilators and testing kits especially. Jack Ma, the Chinese, did that donation, all of that, a kind of bilateral agreement, as it were, with our own government. In looking at our population, which many say the figure is unknown, is uncertain, and looking at the measures that have been put in place thus far, he's talking about not knowing as a result of lack of adequate testing. The World Health Organization has said it's those with mild symptoms, those who exhibit any form at all, or those with travel history that should go for a test and self-isolate. But he's suggesting a random sampling or testing, whether the case is there or not. Do you think that would increase a panic and fear? It would cause more havoc than not testing at all?
To me, I support his idea where he said it is good to test everybody or just be isolated on your own self. And the lockdown should be carried on because they say prevention is better than cure. If you want to really prevent this syndrome, you must stay at home according to the instruction. We must follow the instruction of the Ministry of Health and all that.
Let's look at Lagos State.
Secondly, you see, there is nothing you do in this country without politics. Remember during the crisis of this flood and all that, where they will sell materials to ID camp and all that, even this Boko Haram war, people are not sincere. They will divert most of these things. But if they can be sincere and they share whatever given to them, just like what they did during that sharing of mosquito net and all that, it will be better. But Nigerians are very crafty. They would like to, hide some of these things to make sure that it does not circulate. So to me, the best way is to lock down the system for a period of time, then checkmate, because after 2-3 weeks we must see those that have the symptoms. Then from there you can now begin to, go into them to take them to the centers where they can be treated and all that. But if you allow them to move from one place to the other, they are indirectly spreading the virus to other people.
Now, when we talk about what I mentioned, Jack Ma's provision that we took delivery of some days back, he talked about China using robots, or let's just call it artificial intelligence, to handle this case. For us as a nation, if we pick Lagos State, 2 other states, they have said officers from levels 1 to 12 should stay at home. Does it mean, yes, we have the bulk of a greater number of workers in that grade level? If you talk about total lockdown, pick only food as an instance. How do we begin to eat?
Well,
These nations who have locked down had preparations way back, even with the challenges they're still experiencing. They have a kind of delivery system where you're talking about a nation where we're not sincere enough to even for equitable distribution of things that are available. What are your suggestions towards food,
well,
medicals?
well, like I said earlier, if we must embark on the lockdown, first of all, they will give you a period of time to prepare yourself. But in Nigeria, there's no, support from the government, whereby they can give you stipends, because some people don't even have work. Some people don't have money to buy anything at home. So, for you to say they should lock down, yes, it's good, but there must be a provision for these people to cater for themselves.
So it's the provision we're looking at
So
right
the provision now, it is there for the government to look at that angle.
Okay.
By making sure that there is a provision for us. Like you talk about, the foreign world that has all those robots. We don't have those facilities yet. And so how do we pass that? Even the social media we use to, to send something to people.
Okay.
Some people will even still play you tricks. They will carry this in and they say they deliver to you without seeing them.
All right.
So people believe they like going to the market to purchase whatever they want to get and come home themselves. But when doing that, follow the precaution, follow the instruction of the Ministry of Health, cover your face, wash your hands, and get whatever you want to
Thank you very much.
come back home.
Dr. Esegbo, as we go now, in U.S., the Senate has still looking at $1 trillion, should we call it a bailout, a kind of palliative to cushion the effects. You calling for a lockdown. We have a presidential committee on COVID-19. Some monies have also been announced. At this point, when you have that lockdown, what is your blueprint for ensuring that people, in that U.S. case, even the unemployed is provided adequate provision under that program? What's your suggestion of getting such provisions?
I want us to take this radical approach because of our lack of preparedness. We lack capacity, we lack resources, we lack everything. Even if government provides bailout, it will not get to us. So we won't even adopt such approach. What we need is a radical approach. Ask the people, give the people like 48 hours ultimatum, stockpile food and drugs and whatever you need. The lockdown does not necessarily even be for 21 days.
Okay.
Probably 1 week.
Okay.
It's a radical. Take care of yourself 1 week.
All right, thank you very much. I'm being told to wind this up. I do know that it's in 2 weeks that we can get symptoms from persons who have contact and all that. And when you talk about purchasing and all that, I was going to ask you from the salary we're expecting or from where. But we would leave that question alone. But you're saying a total lockdown would help go a great way in ensuring that we stay where we are. We do not get more figures, more numbers of people affected. I'd like to say thank you to Comrade Francis Obule, MD from Bule Nigeria Limited, and Dr. Paul Uche, a principal of medical office with Delta State University.
Thank you very much.
First, let me say thank you to DBS and the management for making sure that things are changing.
Okay.
Like I used to say before now, that DBS is going to be like Channel and AIT. They are moving very close to them.
Thank you very much.
Continue your good work.
Thank you very much. We continue with Delta Morning Watch Breakfast Show. After now, Morning Watch on Delta TV continues. We'll be looking at education. Schools are shut. The children are home, safely home, right? And the parents like us are out. What do we take from out and go and give to the children? What should be a better synergy in ensuring that they stay safe? We shall be back.
Provision of universal basic education for all 70 million children in Nigeria. But this is a huge challenge. After decades of neglect, the education system is in crisis. But there is progress. These are the stories of 3 schools trying to give their children the education they deserve. From Kojama Primary School in Chikun to Apostolic Primary School in Orfa and Chiromawa Junior Secondary School in Garumalam. These are the stories of Nigeria's school. In Kaduna State, there are schools of very different quality. Some, like the Kaduna Capital Government School, are excellent, while others, particularly in the rural areas, are in terrible condition. This is a story of just one rural school and the challenges it faces. This is Kojama in Chikun LGA of Kaduna State. Blessing Adamu is 5 years old and lives with her auntie Maria and cousin Nana.
I like that I am. Wato Blessing bayan mutuwan babanta sai na ga yara sun yi mama mai yawa. Na ga bai yi mai kyau ta zauna haka ba. Na ga yayi kyau ita ma ta yi makaranta. Ina ta makaranta sai zuwa. Iyaye na ba su da kudi. Kin san da makaranta kudi ne.
But Maria was determined to get an education. Now Maria is training to be a teacher, and Blessing is enrolled for her first year of primary education. This is Kojama 2 Primary School. Blessing is one of over 1,000 pupils. Her teacher is Mrs. Hamatu John.
I am Master Usman. I say you should mention your own name. If you are blessed, you say blessing. You get it? Yeah. If you are Savior, you just say Savior. Don't mention your own name. You get it? Yeah. Say I am Master Usman.
Despite the confusion, Blessing is trying her best.
Then Blessing answer him. I am Miss Blessing.
Over half of primary school teachers in Nigeria are not properly qualified. For head teacher Mrs. Bihatu Yabiwat, this lack of qualified teachers and the complicated way in which teachers are recruited are a serious concern.
So the major problem presently is lack of enough teachers. We requested about 15 to 16 teachers. They kept us promise they will bring what.
Good to know you're still with us on our breakfast table. Morning watch on drtv from Warri. Welcome again. Now, schools in Delta State are shut down. No thanks to preventive measures being put in place by the state government to ensure the spread of COVID-19 is reduced and indeed doesn't come to the state at all. So many schools didn't get to write the second term exams. Some wrote halfway and the examinations were disrupted. The children at that school safely assumed indeed because the parents like us are out here, but not really focusing on how to close in that synergy like we said earlier. Let's look at the curriculum in focus. For the 30 days or more, these children will be at home like the Federal Ministry of Health has directed. How do they cope when eventually they resume? What about the second term results? Talking about how do they finally effectively conclude that term and move on to the next term. And basically, the size of the curriculum and what ought to be taught. How should all of this, how would it be impacted on? To talk on this morning, I have Mrs. Akmorwaro Stella Ochiko. She's a pastor. She's of Adeje Secondary School, Adeje. And also from Adeje Secondary School, Adeje, we have Mrs. Osobo Flora. Welcome to the studio, madam. Thank you. morning. I'd like to start with you, Mrs. Osoro-Flora. It's a special down. I think we saw them yesterday. So give us a feel of what you did before you shut down. Ideally, when should you have closed? What did you cover? Did you take your exams?
Thank you. Actually, we are supposed to close down 9th of April, but because of the COVID-19, I directed from the state government that schools should be shut down on the 26th, which is today. So yesterday, the school was to be shut down. We could get our exams.
You didn't start your exams?
No, we didn't start at all. We only did first test, second test. We are supposed to write our exam by the end of this month. So we could go. So the students left.
You have covered your curriculum for the second
No,
term?
the curriculum has not. It's almost covered, but not properly covered.
Not properly
Not
covered.
properly covered. It's almost covered, but not properly covered. So the students left without exams, without properly covering the curriculum for the term.
Mrs. Stella Ochuku, what is your take on the impact, the uncovered curriculum and the disrupted term? Will it impact on the students eventually? How?
Definitely it's going to affect them negatively, because one, the curriculum, there are a set of experience that has been put in place for these children to cover and to know in order to improve their ability in performance. But now there is a breach which they cannot cover, except for the case of the exceptional children who have a very high intelligence quotient, like the case of the low learners. They may not be able to comprehend because already there is a spillover into the next academic work, and at the end of the day it will affect their performance, and there is no proper room for assessment in terms of evaluation, knowing whether the children have learned or not. There was no room because of the untimely break.
All right, we are doing all of this. It's a global challenge. I mean, schools shut down way back in some countries outside the shows before now. Still staying with you, Warri Ochuku, when we're talking about this impact in resumption going forward, how would you suggest these areas uncovered would be taken alongside the incoming third term? How would you suggest the areas be covered, and for proper evaluation which you have identified that this sudden disruption would cause?
Naturally, as the school will go back in session, they will have to cover what they left behind first before going into the present work. But whether we like it or not, it must affect the performance of the learners. It must affect them, because not all of them can carry such a load of adding the previous one to the present one. So it will not be left to their fate. What they can carry, they carry. What they cannot carry, they leave behind. So it is what the teachers now see that they will accept from them. So it's not something you can force on the children. It is what their ability can carry them as at that time that they will be able to give in terms of outcome from the learners.
All right. Let me come back to you, Mrs. Osoro. In the UK, in some other parts of the world, we have what we call the online studies. You know, it's a situation, even here we do distance learning sometimes. So I'm looking at the way forward, how these areas will be covered. For her, she said they definitely will be impacted, or there's not going to, apart from the very few that are gifted. I mean, we have that very, very few, low percentage. What do you think pragmatically the government can do, or should we say proactively, we're looking at schools resumption, because first it's life first. If the life isn't there, we won't be talking quality education, we won't be talking whether area covered or not. They're taking this step for lives to be there for these children. In going forward, what are some of the sustainable things as a teacher, someone who is in longest serving education, what should they do while at home? Is there a possibility for the stakeholders like government and school teachers to still talk the children in learning online, for instance? Do we have that platform? Do we have the wherewithal?
Thank you very much. It's called alternative learning. We don't have that platform in Nigeria, where we can say, okay, let's teach the children online, except the parents on their own have to hire some assistants somewhere to teach them. For the government, that means the coming term will be extended a little, so that we have room to cover up the leftover curriculum activities. The coming term should be extended a little, so that we can cover up those areas. I think that is what the government can do.
All right. When we talk about extension of the incoming, the third term, that term, Mrs. Akbararo, is one very critical term. It's a term where they take the promotion exams. People leave one class to the other. And if we don't have the platform for e-learning, as it were, in Lagos, I know certain areas go doing it, okay, but then privately, they're able to get the children to follow online, they're able to do a whole lot of things on the social media platforms. In extending the common term, it's at the end of the day also extending the entire school calendar. Okay, so what will be the modus operandi when it comes to resumption, which we're praying shouldn't take too long, which we're praying it really doesn't go out of the projected time already? What are your suggestions?
You said the mode of what?
Operations, as it were.
Okay. One of the ways in which we can recover some of the lost period is through after-school lesson,
which they already have as a compulsory thing. Most schools, right?
Really not all schools. Not all schools. So for those schools who have not gone into it, I think it's a time for such school to introduce that after-school lesson.
Now, if children have to learn, maybe parents want to be of help, as it were, wants to implement what you have already done for this term. What do you think? How do you think they can do this? Because she's talking about extra lessons and all that at home. We're talking about stay away. Everybody's a suspect where COVID-19 is concerned. I wouldn't go get a teacher for my children at this time because I don't know who you are or where you're coming from or who you have had contact with. Just like yesterday, for instance, 10-year-old picked up a book and was like asking the mom, okay, this is what the scheme of work, this is what we've copied, this is what we've done. In looking at, okay, when we resume, are we going to be in the next class? If we are not going to be there, where should I read from? What is the next class going to look like? These are the questions the children, some of them are really more concerned than we are, are asking already. So I hope a parent wants to move ahead. Do you think there are certain suggestions that would help in them getting some of these things, even if it's online, for the child to be better prepared?
Yes, the parents can assist the children either by personal teaching, which is not possible for everybody because not every parent are learned. But for the learned ones, they can assist the children by helping them to cover the areas where these children has not been able to cover before the break. But the other suggestion is supposed to be bringing in an external person to teach these children. But because of this virus, the risk involved, and based on the instruction from the federal government, staying distance from people because you may not know their status as far as this virus is concerned. Then I think maybe we'll begin to do the ones we can do as parents for the time being in order to avoid the risk of being contaminated by the virus. All right, I'm still with that question, Mrs. Osobo Flora, covering covered areas while the lockdown, shutdown lasts.
Okay. Like covering your covered area, it should be difficult for these junior learners. Why I say so? Like those in primary school, because maybe they cannot teach themselves at home. They can't read and comprehend. But those in the secondary school, if they can get the school curriculum and they have textbooks, that's why the place of textbooks is very important. You can read and comprehend, teach yourself at home. It's self-teaching now. You know, in those days, there are times there were no school. So people teach themselves at home. So this time they should get their textbook and it should be given away for a long time from school. Yes, from school. It tends to affect their abilities when they return back.
Right? Basically, how do you view the COVID-19 as we wind up now? The children at home, we presume safe. Now you're here, you're going back. We don't know the persons. I mean, we'll start here like this now. And we're going to get back home, probably like a little bit out just before you come in, spray on you and all that. But how safe is it?
It's not 100% safe, but we'll do the best we can and ask God for His mighty hand of protection.
Thank you very much. And last word from Mrs. Akoraro Ochiko by way of advice to the learners at home. They should not be distracted. They should not see it as a time of play or doing things that are outside the school activities, so that they can be up and doing. When they come back to school, they will not lack all that they need to know, whether they were taught or not. Thank you very much. And so that's it. It's Operation Teach Yourself, they say. As a parent or as a learner, you must take a step. Get the textbooks while we are not out, we are not in total lockdown yet. Ensure you have your class teachers' numbers, your school teachers' proprietor, headmasters and headmistresses' numbers. So as you study at home, teach yourself, teach your child when you have questions that Wikipedia cannot answer, you go as the class teacher. We've been speaking with Mrs. Akoraro Ochiko and Mrs. Osobo Flora. They are both of Adeje Secondary School, Adeje, on pleasure of school and its impact on the school curriculum due to the COVID-19. Many thanks for being here this morning. Thank you. We're moving on with Morning Watch on DRTV. Shortly we shall be bringing you AM Sports segment. Stay tuned.
Is gender sensitive. He has not left women out of anything that he does. And every local government has at least 3 women as councillors.
I so much thank our governor. May God uplift him. May God give him long life.
They take care of us. I want to say very big thank you on behalf of the widows.
They do not have anybody to care for them. The power understands their plight.
using data line for like 2 years now. They have good seats. The car is okay, very comfortable.
Data line has practically taken over the transport industry around this environment. I'm proud to have a governor that is visionary and he knows what to do at every time.
My experience with them has been good. Their buses are always clean, their services are good, and I'll actually recommend Delta Line to the public, everyone to use Delta Line for their trips.
I'm happy I'm a worker in Delta Line. I really want to appreciate the governor. It's the governor that have the masses in mind.
When you see our vehicles on the way, you know that truly Delta Line is proud of the SAT.
Poverty and hunger can be very dehumanizing and can subject anyone to a life of servitude and subservience. The answer to this dehumanizing state of nature is the World Bank supported project, FADAMA, which targets poverty alleviation and the empowerment of the rural poor and dwellers. Against the backdrop of this high impact, the Delta State government, under the watch of Senator Kowa, paid her counterpart funding, giving Delta State the right to bite a huge chunk of this apple pie, giving ordinary Deltans the opportunity to benefit.
I thank the state governor whom God used to empower the poor farmers. This program has turned me to another level of living, and we don't want to disappoint Okowa.
When he told me he was planting rice, I thought it was in a small scale, but I'm surprised with what I came to see today. I want him to grow more so that I can feed my poultry.
I am motivated by what I have seen. I never believed it could be so. I'm interested and I would want to join them so as to work the more.
FADAMA has given us joy in this community. We have hope always that when we get there, we must see something that will give us money, that will fresh us food. We really appreciate him very well. If possible that he will rule the other 10, we will still vote for him again.
Inside, good defense from Okogie, manages to keep hold of it, try to pass it behind his back, and now the fast break is on to 2v1. Aminu goes himself, gets it, and it's just 2 points back.
Forcing the turnover, let's see if they can benefit from it.
Warren Savage, good defense again from Nigeria. It's Aminu who eventually brings it down, the pass down to Flora, Rothman puts it in. 3 for 5 from 2 point range now. It's Warren Savage. Here goes Aminu again. Aminu gets it to go.
17 points against Senegal, but this is the real thing now.
Yeah, Iwareku makes the 2. Mostavilov, only 21 years of age. Iwareku steps back, shoots a long 2. Nice from Iwareku.
Good defense, chase the shooter off the 3-point arc, the help comes. Stops the penetration.
Oh my word. Usain Bolt was on the court for a second there. Is Diogu looking just to try and get himself started. Another one off target. Oh, he does brilliantly though, and throws it down with 2 hands. Metu. Mostavilov, they get a little fortunate there, Nigeria, but not the second time they don't. And now Mostavilov, get out of here, says Metu. And now what a pass down the floor to Vincent Amadu, makes the 2. Here is Okogie. That's clever from Okogie. Oh God, that would have been special. Metu puts it back anyway. The outside. Great start from him. Okogie out to the corner. The 3 is good. Nuara knocks it down. Here's Nuara. Steps back, shoots the 2, makes it.
That's a high-level move from Jordan Nuara.
Russia again, just pulling away. The lead back up to 6. Here come Nigeria with Jordan Nuara. Knocks another 3. Hand side. Okogie from miles out. Wow. pointless, like Diogo. Wouldn't have thought he would have been saying that into the third quarter. It's a three from Josh Okogie.
And again, that's going one-on-one, premeditated.
Oh, yes, so good defense.
Into that wider position, Vitolo, whose 2 goals this season have both come from the bench. He is one of 5 Premier League old boys in that lineup. Aaron Ramsey still to figure. Expect something from Ronaldo tonight. All right. And Leonardo Bonucci, he left, and he's done well for them so far. Can he take them to the Champions League final?
Francés coloca ese balón con la pierna izquierda, despejó Delay, llegaba Lemar otra vez, intenta apretar ahora el Atlético. Trippier se metía en posición de fuera de juego, tuvo que cambiar su idea Tomás, y Danilo con un cierto aire de duda finalmente metió el pecho para
salir nada, y a la Juve le salió.
De verdad que fue un partido donde el Atlético
taken out at the near post.
La idea es buena, pero pues mal dado, simplemente. Quiere la Juve. En ese momento tampoco está incómodo.
Peligro, ahí con la de protege Joao Félix.
Qué presión hay de la Juve, mire cómo va.
Para uno, aguanta Félix, aparece Diego Costa, Joao Félix ya prácticamente a la frontal, termina sacando el remate, parecía casi imposible finalizar esta acción, y Joao Félix, a base de amagar, de proteger el balón y de conducir durante más de 50 metros, terminó obligando a Szczęsny a tener que despejar a correr.
No estoy seguro que si Diego Costa ayuda o molesta ahí en ese momento.
Esa pelota, pero ya está el brasileño atravesando la divisoria.